Run It Back Nation, what is good? Sixers, sickos, what is good? We have 42 days. Am I right about that? I think. Until the 76ers season kicks off with a revamped roster and lots of things to be excited about. If the same thing happens, then damn it, they got us again. But, if the whole plan is just to get us again, they did a good job this offseason of getting us again. All right. So just for fun, today, I'm going to give you my personal 2024-25 NBA Eastern Conference power rankings. And, stay tuned for my top 5 because I don't know if it's as predictable as you might think it is. Let's just get right into it, man. This is brought to you by Game Time Ticket App and CLNS Media. Thank you to them for sponsoring the channel. More on them a little bit later. Here you go. 2024-25 NBA Eastern Conference Power Rankings by yours truly. All the way down to number 15, we are going to start with the lowly, embarrassing, just flat out sad Washington Wizards. They are the worst run franchise I've seen in a long time. Overpaid Jordan Poole. He was not good last season. Still owe him $96 million. They don't ever really have much of a plan at all. And they drafted Alexander Sarr with the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who had a summer league game where he was 0 for 14. He might be the worst number 1 draft pick of all time. We don't know yet. That might have been one of the worst drafts of all time. But just isn't it crazy? Imagine being a Washington Wizards fan. You finally get the number 1 pick, and it happens to be that draft. Yikes. So I don't see anything good for the Washington Wizards anytime soon. And they're going to be competing for the number 1 pick in the draft once again. Coming in at number 14, who do we got? We have the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are so bad, they left New Jersey. I don't know what that means. I was going to try to roast New Jersey somehow because I don't want the Sixers to go to New Jersey. But the Brooklyn Nets are at number 14. Of course, they traded away Mikal Bridges. They finally accepted we're going to rebuild. We're going to start over. And they're not going to be good to start the season. It's going to be a competition between the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards for the first overall draft pick. Especially after they trade Dorian Finney-Smith to the Philadelphia 76ers at the trade deadline for KJ Martin and some other random contracts. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be bad, but intentionally, The Washington Wizards are always bad. It always feels like it's not intentional. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be bad. We got them at 14, okay? 13. We have not the worst run franchise in the history of sports. Maybe they are. It's close, but definitely the funniest franchise in the history of sports. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls. There's nothing to be excited about as a Chicago Bulls fan. Nothing they do makes any sense. They lost Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Andre Drummond. They did not acquire a single first-round pick in losing any of those players. They traded DeMar DeRozan for Chris Duarte in 2 seconds. Andre Drummond walked, signed with the Sixers. They traded Alex Caruso, who was the only player that they kept asking first-round picks for. They traded him straight up for Josh Giddey. I do not understand the Chicago Bulls. It's really unbelievable how bad they've run this franchise since acquiring Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball. I guess we have a Lonzo Ball return coming. That'll be interesting. But also, recent rumors are that the Chicago Bulls are trying to mend their relationship with Zach LaVine after they've tried to trade him for over a year now, and they can't trade him because he's the worst contract in the NBA right now. It's all bad for the Chicago Bulls. They are all the way down at number 13 for me. All right. At number 12, we have the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets have LaMelo Ball returning. We'll see if he could stay healthy. Brandon Miller. They re-signed Miles Bridges, which I thought nobody was going to re-sign him. He ended up getting more NBA money again. But they are the Charlotte Hornets at the end of the day. So I have them slightly above being as terrible as these other three teams. But Charlotte Hornets, number 12. Not much more to say about the Charlotte Hornets. Number 11. What do we got at number 11? Number 11, the Atlanta Hawks for me. They lose DeJounte Murray and Sadiq Bey. I don't really understand the direction of the Atlanta Hawks recently. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young were the worst defensive backcourt in the entire NBA when they shared the floor together. I thought they were going to finally try to trade Trae Young. Maybe they did. Maybe they failed. They end up trading DeJounte Murray, who was really good without Trae Young in games that he played without him. Is more of a two-way defensive point guard. I don't really understand it. I think the Atlanta Hawks need to accept eventually that the Trae Young experiment is just that in the NBA, an experiment, an amazing talent, but does he really equal more wins at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? So the Atlanta Hawks I have at number 11. Of course, as we go through this, feel free to give me your opinion in the comments. Anything you agree with, anything you disagree with. And give me your power rankings in the comments. That would be much appreciated. Number 10, the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors at number 10. A couple of questions they have is Scotty Barnes a number one guy? I lost my place. What happened? I dropped my phone. They traded OG to the Knicks. They traded Pascal to the Pacers. They got, Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett in the OG trade, but I don't see much for the Toronto Raptors. It's really funny for me the past couple of years, the Raptors fans, there was years where Raptors fans were just flooding my videos and live streams because, we were battling them in the playoffs. And I was like, bro, as soon as Kawhi leaves, as soon as this 2000, Nick Nurse, Kawhi, that whole story, the Raptors aren't good. They're not going to be good, but I do have them at number 10. Maybe Scotty Barnes, surprises some people this upcoming season. I like him a lot. And I like RJ Barrett. I like those guys, but I don't see them being higher than number 10. I just don't. Sorry, Raptors fans, for that. Number 9 might surprise you a little bit. At number 9, I have the Detroit Pistons. And I have the Detroit Pistons at number 9 because, last year they broke the 76ers record for consecutive losses to start a season. But I saw, just watching some of their games, I saw a lot of talent on that team, and I saw a lot of, they just didn't look like they were as bad as their record showed. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, they added Malik Beasley. Of course, they overpaid Tobias Harris. That's funny, but also he does add, some veteran leadership and a scoring option. To the Toronto Raptors. And they added Paul Reed, who has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder right now, since what happened with the Sixers and his departure. So I think the Detroit Pistons at number 9 sounds good to me. Number 8, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat all the way down at number 8. They didn't do jack shit in the offseason. Jimmy Butler is aging. Tyler Hero has more tattoos and looks like Edward Norton from American History X. Jaime Jaquez is a good young player. Nikola Jovic is a good young player, but I see the Miami Heat continuing to trend downward. and Heat culture continuing to be the most confusing slogan of all time. The downfall of the Miami Heat and Pat Riley. You know, they have this winning culture, but where, when? Yeah, you took the Boston Celtics you ended up in the NBA Finals a couple of years ago on the back of Jimmy Butler being amazing, but I'm actually kind of shocked at how little the Miami Heat did this offseason. Number 7 might really ruffle some feathers. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 7, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, the Milwaukee Bucks continue to trend downward after trading who I think is the most valuable point guard in the NBA, Drew Holiday, for an overrated shot chucker, Damian Lillard. They then try to fix their issues by signing the most overrated coach I have ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes, Doc Rivers. They got worse after they signed Doc Rivers. They were the number 1 defense in the NBA for 5 straight seasons under Budenholzer. They fired him. They hired, I don't know, who was the guy that started the season last year and got fired when they had a decent record. They were 19th defensively last season under Doc Rivers. Damian Lillard got worse under Doc Rivers. His field goal percentage amongst guards was 9th before going to the Bucks, and it fell all the way to 29th, and his 3-point percentage fell a lot too. I don't see anything trending upward for the Milwaukee Bucks with that guy at the helm, and I think their fans are going to be shocked this upcoming season at how far from grace they continue to fall. I have the Milwaukee Bucks at number 7. I'm going to give you my top 6. But first, this is brought to you by Game Time Ticket app. And thank you for being here. We're on the road to 25,000 subscribers. Let's try to get 25,000 subscribers before the season starts. So if you watch these videos and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button one time. Give me 1,000 likes on this video. And as I said, this is brought to you by Game Time Ticket app. Game Time Ticket app, the app where tickets get cheaper the closer you get to the event. And here we are on Game Time Ticket app's website. And here's what they do for you. They show you the deals. You don't have to sort through a bunch of tickets. This is the Sixers' first preseason game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They find you the deals. They tell you straight up what super deal, the cheapest in the house, the flash deals, etc. There you go. You can be in the building for $37, even though that's showing a hockey game. It is a basketball game ticket. So that is how Game Time works. And right now, you can get $20 off by using promo code CLNS at Game Time Ticket app. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Thank you to Game Time Ticket app for sponsoring the channel. Let me give you my top 6. My top 6. Coming in at number 6, ladies and gentlemen, is the Orlando Magic. And the Orlando Magic, I've been saying for a couple of years, they got a lot of talent. You know, what they did last year was surprising. They hung around for a while. I knew they would, come back down to earth, really, but they did hang around for a while. A lot of talent. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero, what's the tall dude that y'all kept telling me the Sixers need to trade for? Jonathan Isaac. A lot of talent, but it really feels like kind of a pickup game, with the Orlando Magic. I still don't see much organization. They really need like a veteran point guard, somebody to come in and really bring order and elevate those young players. We'll see what happens this season. They did add Contavious Caldwell-Pope to the mix, but I see the Orlando Magic being number 6 on my power rankings. Coming in at number 5, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have the Cavs at number 5. They re-signed Donovan Mitchell, of course. I thought they were going to trade Darius Garland. For some reason, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland don't complement each other, but they did not do that. They're just going to push forward and hope that another offseason, puts them where they want to be. But again, like there was a couple years where I was saying like, damn, the Cavs are going to be good, right? The Cavs are going to surprise everyone. And they've just continued to be the Cleveland Cavaliers at the end of the day. We'll see, if they prove me wrong there, but I see the Cleveland Cavaliers being number 5. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, on my 2024-25 NBA Power Eastern Conference Power Rankings, I have the Indiana Pacers. And I almost, even though they did beat the New York Knicks in the playoffs last year, I almost put them at number 3. Because I think another offseason, or a one full offseason of Pascal Siakam with the Indiana Pacers is going to do wonders for them. And can Tyrese Halliburton stay healthy? But I have the Indiana Pacers at number 4. I would be, ecstatic if they climb higher than that. And speaking of higher than that, at number 3 in the NBA Eastern Conference, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks. Yes, we have the New York Knicks at number 3. Yes, they paid OG Anunoby, who is hurt all the time. More than Joel Embiid. Knicks fans, you can say what you want about Joel Embiid's injuries, bro. That dude is hurt all the time. Jalen Brunson took a pay cut to play with his college roommates. I don't know if that equals winning in the NBA. Of course, Mikal Bridges is a great, great addition. Very good, I will say, elite level role player. But at the end of the day, you still don't have enough star power on that team. The Jalen Brunson magic will wear out at some point, or the referees in the second round stop calling his slide cancels. And what can you do? I don't think they have enough star power to be in the top 2, but they are going to continue to be a great physical defensive team who I do not want to see in a first-round matchup ever again. But I think it's pretty realistic to put the New York Knicks at number 3. And at number 2, ladies and gentlemen, the Boston, I'm just kidding, the Philadelphia 76ers at number 2 on my power ranking, Eastern Conference power rankings. Of course, the Paul George edition is huge. It's not a three-headed monster. It's not a super team. It's the fact that Paul George is still, at this stage of his career, miles better than the guy we had as a third option last year. And he's, it just seems like a perfect fit. It really does. We overpaid him, yes, but he is the best third option scorer on any team in the entire NBA. I don't think there's an argument there at all. And then the depth, the Caleb Martin signing, re-signing Kelly Oubre, getting Andre Drummond, to year 5 Tyrese Maxey. Come on, man. Nick Nurse, Joel Embiid. Knicks fans, you got to agree with me here. If you have to. Knicks fans, please, if there's a Knicks fan in here, please put in the comments why you disagree with this. You got to be real with yourself. You have to agree with me here. It's Sixers 2, Knicks 3. Anyone that says otherwise is lying. Straight up. And of course, at number 1, we do have the 2024 NBA champion, Boston Celtics. They stacked the deck. They don't give a shit about the CBA. Apparently, they can just pay everyone and sell the team. That's what they're doing. They have the 2 best defensive point guards in the entire league on the same team, Derek White and Drew Holiday. I don't think Jason Tatum is a superstar leader, but it doesn't matter. Their team is so good that he can shoot 24% from the field in the NBA Finals and they still win. The Boston Celtics are stacked, but they are beatable. And I think the 76ers, out of any other team in the Eastern Conference, gave themselves the best chance this offseason to take down the Boston Celtics. And a Sixers-Celtics Eastern Conference Finals this upcoming season will break the internet. We'll see if it happens. But there is my 2024-25 NBA Eastern Conference power rankings. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Give me all of your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for coming through and hanging out. Hit the like button for me one time. Subscribe to the channel. It's almost NBA season time. I'll see you guys soon.